Okay, video is recording and I am ready. Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our Google Meet for today. Like I said earlier, we are going to have a quick review of 8.1 and 8.2, as well as discuss the tutorial structure question 1 and 2. Okay, and if you have any questions regarding 8.1 and 8.2, feel free to ask here. Yes, Vero, ada solat. Tutukan. Okay. All right. So I
Sorry,
am
Miss,
gonna
nothing.
nothing. All right. A window. I need to use this thing. Okay. So you should be able to access this Gembot as well. I am going to be doing the review using this. Tinggal adjust sedikit dulu ya. Okay. Right. So in this week's class, I asked you to watch the YouTube video for 8.1 and also 8.2. 8.1 title dia adalah Recombinant DNA Technology. And in this subtopic, you actually learn about the 5 tools of recombinant DNA technology. Can somebody name me the 5 tools of recombinant DNA technology? Anybody? Boleh buka mic, boleh type. Buka mic lebih bagus, lebih cepat.
Target DNA,
Okay, so target DNA ataupun nama lain dia adalah gene of interest. Very good, Darren.
restriction enzyme,
Restriction enzyme, very nice.
DNA cloning vector, host cell,
D
and modifying enzyme.
okay, DNA cloning vector, host cell, and modifying enzyme. Very good. Modifying enzyme. All right, very good. Thank you very much, Darren. Okay, so can somebody give me the definition or the explanation for target DNA?
A
Dapat
desired
PM tu
gene
tidak apa?
that will be inserted into the host cell.
Yes, correct, Alice. A desired gene that will be inserted into the host cell. Very good. Anybody? All right. And then I need somebody else to explain what is restriction enzyme. Dan bagi satu contoh nama restriction enzyme. Anybody? Let's see who's here.
Kalau definition, enzyme that recognize specific base sequence of DNA and then cut the DNA at specific site to produce DNA fragment. Kalau contoh
Yes.
dia SMA1.
SMA1. Okay, very good, Sheila. Thank you very much. So it is an enzyme that recognizes specific base sequence of DNA and then it will cut out those specific sequence. Ataupun kita boleh juga gelar specific sequence itu sebagai restriction sites. Alright, and an example is SMA1. Very good. Two more common example is ECOR1 ataupun kadang-kadang orang panggil ECORI. Yang penting kamu tulis betul. And another one is BAMH1. Okay, very good, Sheila. Thank you very much. Okay, very quickly, can somebody tell me what is a DNA cloning vector and give the common example we learn about?
Miss,
Yeah.
DNA cloning vector DNA molecule that can carry foreign DNA into a host cell and replicate it. Dia punya
Yes.
contoh
Very good.
plasmid.
Okay, very good. So it is something that can carry DNA into the host cell and then replicate. And a good example is plasmid. And very good, Eveliska. And we also learned about a few characteristics that make plasmid a very good cloning vector. All right. Very quickly, somebody, host cell.
Host cell, an organism that receives a recombinant DNA and serves as the living host for expression of the recombinant DNA.
Okay,
And
very good, Audrey. Very nice. Yes, it is N. Sambungan tadi. Ada sambung kah?
the organism that is commonly used as a host cell is E. coli.
Yes, very good. Thank you. So E. coli is a very common example. Very nice. All right, one last one. Can somebody tell me what is modifying enzyme? I'm not looking away from you. I have a second screen. So I'm looking at the second screen for your names. Anybody?
Modifying enzyme is a repair enzyme that functions to join DNA fragment permanently by catalyzing the formation of phosphodiester bond, broken part of DNA.
All right. Very good. All right. Thank you very much, Mani. So those are all correct. And those are the 5 tools that we use in recombinant DNA technology. So bagus, kamu boleh bagi definisi dan juga bagi contoh. Okay, before I continue to the tutorial question, does anybody have any part they don't understand about 8.1? Sebarang soalan. Kalau kamu rasa soalan kamu budu-budu tapi rasa mau tanya juga, tanya saja. Mana tahu membantu orang lain yang malu-malu tanya. Okay, so it looks like we don't have many problems. Then I will just continue to the tutorial question. Nanti kalau kamu terfikir ada soalan lain nanti, tanya saja. Okay, now I would like to discuss this one. So this is your tutorial question, which I'm trying to present. Okay, so this is your tutorial question. Ada part objektif, ada part structure. Dan dalam video 8.1 saya ada pesan, tolong buat soalan ini untuk kamu punya refresher. I also ask you to do mind map. So nanti saya akan buka tempat di GC untuk kamu submit mind map kamu ya. I need to find something else. Okay, you should be able to see the screen clearly, and we are going to look at question number 1. So structure question number 1 is about restriction enzymes. It is widely used in genetic engineering. Figure 1 shows the act of restriction enzyme on DNA. So ini adalah dua enzim yang berbeza. Okay, for this one, can you tell me what kind of end is this yang dalam diagram P, and what kind of end is Q? Adakah dia sticky ataupun dia blunt? Anybody want to answer?
P. Blunt
Blunt
ends.
Yes, correct Audrey, correct Wafa. P is blunt end, so Q is sticky end. Sige, saya melukis. So this is blunt end and sticky end. Okay. Satu potong lurus, satu potong sengit. What is meant by restriction enzyme? What is meant by restriction enzyme? Ini kamu bagi saja definisi, boleh ikut dalam lecture note. Okay, and then question 1B, based on the DNA cut, structure P and Q will be formed. Did anybody answer this one? And what is your answer for B1? What is structure P? What is structure Q? Ada siapa-siapa boleh buka mic ataupun type di dalam chat?
P is one.
P is what?
Small one.
Oh, that is the enzyme that cuts it. Okay, yang enzyme yang memotong adalah SMA1, but yang dia hasilkan adalah okay. So thank you Intan for that answer. Okay, enzim yang potong ini adalah SMA1, yang potong ini adalah E-CoR1. Okay, tapi yang dihasilkan, structure that is formed in P is a blunt end, and in Q is a sticky end. Okay, begitu saja jawaban dia. Lepas tu ini P akan ada jadi satu markah. This P will be 1 mark, and this Q will be 1 mark. Untuk dapatkan 2 markah. Alright, if you are asked to draw structures P and Q in the space below, ini memang perlu lukis lah. So this one, I will draw it out for you since I haven't figured out how to let you draw on this thing. It should be, ini adalah CA for structure B, CAG, CTG. This one is P, and then for Q, GAA TTC. GAAETC. I think this part is simple, but it's okay if you got a bit confused with the question. So, kalau kamu confused, ini saja cara untuk lukis itu DNA. Yang penting nampak dia terpisah lah. Kalau ini betul, this is 1 mark. Ini betul, this is 1 mark. Any question regarding this part?
Miss,
Hmm?
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Lin.
For the drawing, right? We must draw the shape, like the shape, like GAG and CTG is separate like that.
Yeah, you should draw the shape.
If I just draw like dot line, like in the middle, then I just draw the dot line.
are you able to present your screen after this question?
Not sure because my line is not great.
Not su- Oh, okay. Then that's no problem. Later, message me personally and I'll have a look at your question.
Okay, thank you, Miss.
Okay, thank you, Lim. Okay, any other question regarding this part? Kalau tiada, saya move on. Okay, it should be no problem. Then we are going to continue with this one. Okay, question B3, name the restriction enzyme that produce fragment Q. Ini saya sudah tulis di atas tadi. Ini adalah EcoR1. Okay, ada beberapa enzim yang biasa kita gunakan, yaitu EcoR1 dengan SMA1. So, itu juga kamu patut hafal lah dia punya sequence. Kalau tidak hafal pun sekurang-kurangnya bila kamu nampak soalan macam ini, kamu boleh kenal, okay, ini EcoR1, ini SMA1. Dulu kami kena suruh untuk hafal restriction enzyme yang lain, but for now, the only thing you need to remember is these two. Okay? So the answer for that one is EcoR1. Kenapa saya guna pen merah? Si cantik guna pen biru. Pastikan dia
Miss,
I huruf besar. Yes?
memang kita lukis dia tidak bercantum gitu, Miss.
Di mana? Yang P dan Q?
Yang, ya.
Ya, pasti dia tidak bercantum. This part
Oh,
tidak
okay,
bercantum.
thank you,
Maksud
Miss.
kamu kan? Okay. Right. So if you're writing the enzyme, pastikan huruf besar untuk I, huruf besar untuk R, huruf besar untuk itu I, ataupun ini adalah Roman numeral 1. Okay, should be straightforward. Name the enzymes involved in joining the fragments of DNA after being cut by restriction enzyme. Anybody can answer this question, C?
Ligase.
Yes, correct,
DNA
Akil. So this one is DNA ligase. And I heard somebody else trying to answer DNA ligase juga. So betul. Thank you. So that is 1 mark. Very straightforward, kan? All right. So number 2D. List the 2D, 1D. List the important characteristics of plasmid vectors used in recombinant DNA technology. Can anybody answer this one?
Able to receive foreign DNA
Yes, correct.
and have multiple cloning sites.
Have multiple cloning sites. Good. Tadi yang jawab siapa? Akil kah tu? Okay, that was good answer. So able to accept foreign DNA, have multiple cloning sites. Oh, looks like according to this answer scheme, have multiple cloning sites dia macam termasuk dalam markah untuk ini. So you should give one more, at least one more important characteristic. So ini dikira sebagai satu important characteristic. The other important characteristic is it is able to replicate freely in host cell. Okay, sebab kalau dia dapat masuk itu host cell, tapi dia tidak dapat membiak dalam host cell, dia tidak dapat berganda, tidak berguna juga. Or you can also choose that it possess selectable genetic markers. Okay, pilih mana-mana dua untuk dapatkan dua markah. Does anybody have any questions, any problems with this question?
No.
No. All right, good. Then I can continue with the last question. So the last question, the plasmid vector with the target gene must be introduced to the E. coli for further replication. State one characteristic of E. coli which enable it to be used as host cell for the plasmid vector. Does anybody have an answer they want to share for this question? So this is one of the characteristics of host cell. Kalau
Miss,
kamu boleh
kalau
namakan
yang
Sal.
mode of replication tu boleh tak?
Boleh apa of replication?
Ori.
Origin of replication. No, not for this question. Ini untuk question E. So kita bercakap pasal itu host cell.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Sheila's answer in the chat. Able to amplify the gene product from the DNA recombinant. Yeah, almost correct. Tinggal kamu kasih betul saja recombinant DNA, bukan DNA recombinant. So that's a good one, Sheila. I'm gonna write yours down. Able to amplify the gene product from the recombinant DNA. Okay, able to express the cloned gene. Able to express the cloned gene is same point as this. Jawapan kamu, Rahma, able to express is the same as this thing. So dapat juga markah, very good. Okay, so I'm gonna give you the other answers that I have here. Another answer you can give is able to receive recombinant DNA through transformation. Transformation, kalau kamu terlupa, itu adalah proses di mana host cell akan menerima recombinant DNA. Able to maintain the structure of the recombinant DNA. From one generation to another. And able to amplify. Sorry. Rahma, looks like yours is actually a different point. Rahma punya jawapan point 9 pula. Able to express. Able to express gene product from recombinant DNA. And I'm gonna highlight the keywords. Amplify, receive, maintain, express. Okay. As long as it is doing one of these 4 things, it is accepted as an answer. Okay. Should be no problem, right? Selain daripada soalan LIM tadi, I think everything should be clear. Ada sebarang soalan dengan soalan part B, question 1.
Miss,
Yes.
I want to ask about the plasmid. Is the plasmid organelle?
Is plasmid an organelle? Yes, plasmid can be considered an organelle. It is an organelle found in bacteria.
Oh, okay.
Good question. Any other questions regarding 8.1 atau yang sewaktu dengannya? Okay, so I think there shouldn't be any problems with this part. If you do have a question after this, feel free to ask again. Don't worry, don't be shy. You paid for tuition, so you can ask me questions. I am paid to answer your questions. Okay, so after this, we are going to refresh on 8.2. So 8.2 is a methods in gene cloning. Dan yang dimaksudkan dengan gene cloning adalah kita memperbanyakkan gene yang kita mau dengan menggunakan kelima-lima tools yang kita cakap tadi. In your example, we focus on the production, we focus on gene cloning using plasmid as a vector, and usually with plasmid, we like to put it into E. coli, sebab itu cara yang paling sedang. So can anybody tell me what are the 6 steps to gene cloning? Mau satu orang cakap ke 6 step dan explain ataupun mau orang yang berbeza?
Miss, can I answer this question?
Yes, you can answer this question, Audrey.
Okay. First, isolations of genes.
Okay, good.
And then the second one is cleave or cut.
Very good. Cleave or cut.
The third one is insertion.
Very good.
The fourth one is transformation.
Very good.
The
Continue.
fifth one is amplification.
Fifth one is amplification. Very nice.
And then the last one is screening, or blue or white screening.
Blue or white screening. All right, very good. Okay, does anybody have any problem with this? Ichitas. Yes, correct, Intan. What you are sharing in the chat. Ichitas is a way for us to remember. So no, that is not the right pen. Oh, shoot. This is the right pen. Okay. So ICITAS. Okay, very good, Audrey. Thank you very much. So itulah cara kita ingat. Dan kalau kamu diminta untuk explain setiap step dalam ni, kamu bagi 1 ayat, paling banyak pun 2 ayat saja pun cukup untuk explain. Okay. Saya mau tanya, apa yang ada di sini? Stephanie, when I am doing the cleaving and the cutting, cleave or cut step number 2, can I use 2 different enzymes to do this step? Bolehkah saya gunakan 2 enzim yang berbeza?
Tidak.
Tidak, kenapa tidak boleh? Kenapa tidak boleh, Stephanie? Apa terjadi kalau saya digunakan 2 enzim? Anybody? Tidak perlu ayat yang formal. Setakat kamu cakap saja. Kenapa kalau saya gunakan dua enzim, apa yang terjadi?
Because blunt end and sticky end.
Yes, okay. So maybe if you use two different enzyme, contoh kalau saya gatal tangan, I accidentally use SMA1 and EcoR1 in the same container. So one will produce blunt end and the other one will produce sticky end. But what if I use two enzymes and they both produce sticky end? Contoh saya tidak guna SMA1. I choose to use BAMH1. Okay, BAMH1 also produces sticky end. Can I do that? Boleh lah kan, sebab dua-dua sticky end.
Cannot, miss.
Why cannot?
Because the base is not, the specific site is not same.
Yes, yeah, correct, yeah. So if I'm using different restriction enzymes, walaupun dia nampak macam sama, tapi dia punya specific base di sini mungkin berbeza. Jadi kalau saya gunakan enzim yang berbeza, itu akan membazir masa, tenaga, dan bahan-bahan yang saya ada dalam lab. So very good answer, yeah. Alright, so after I cut the DNA, so the thing that I am cutting is the first test tube maybe is containing the vector or the plasmid. Contoh dalam ini adalah plasmid. And the second test tube will be containing my gene of interest ataupun target DNA. So contoh dua-dua saya sudah letak ini restriction enzyme. This one I use EcoRI. Then I go on into the third step, which is insertion. During insertion, what I do is basically I take this test tube, I take this test tube and then I tuang in here. So dia akan bercampur. Selepas dia bercampur, kita perlu tambah sesuatu ke dalam test tube ini. What do I add? What do I need to add in there?
Marker.
Anyone? No, not marker. Ada sejenis enzim, apa benda? Yes, Andriana, that's correct. I need to add DNA ligase. DNA ligase is my, what is wrong with my, I'm going to add DNA ligase, which is the modifying enzyme that I choose for this experiment, for this procedure. Okay, so lepas saya add itu DNA ligase, apa yang berlaku di dalam adalah inside there, I have my plasmid dengan saya punya sticky end, my gene of interest pun ada sticky end, dan DNA ligase akan memastikan bahagian ini dengan bahagian ini akan melekat. Okay, it will form phosphodiester bond, so dia akan melekat lah. It's gonna kasih gum. Okay, so this is my recombinant DNA. Bagi yang terlupa apa benda itu recombinant DNA. But once again, don't forget, sometimes tidak berjaya. Kadang-kadang insertion ini tidak berjaya. You end up getting blank plasmid. Ataupun kadang-kadang DNA ni dia jahanam sikit. Okay, mentang-mentang lah dia get there, ada DNA yang available, kadang-kadang DNA akan bersambung dengan diri sendiri. Nanti dia akan nampak bulat, tapi it's actually the target DNA, not target DNA in plasmid. So you will have some successful, you will have some successful insertion macam ini. Okay, this one is successful insertion. This is failure insertion, failure insertion. Okay. Tapi memandangkan ini kita pandang dengan mata kasar sahaja, kita tidak dapat buat apa-apa. So we just take the entire test tube of mixed stuff and then we continue with the next step, which is the transformation step. Padam. Now we are continuing with this step transformation. Okay, so during transformation step, what we do is dalam balang satu ni, in this conical flask, I have lots of E. coli in here. Ini adalah E. coli di dalam. Dan yang di atas ini adalah saya punya recombinant DNA. Saya akan ambil recombinant ini, recombinant DNA, tuang ke dalam conical flask yang ada E. coli, goncang-goncang-goncang, maybe add a few other things, okay? Add stuff to catalyze transformation. Saya tidak hafal apa benda yang perlu ditambah itu, tapi ada beberapa cara lah yang kita boleh gunakan untuk pastikan transformation ini berjaya. But basically, if transformation is successful, you are gonna have some E. coli that have the plasmid inside. Ada yang successful. Okay, ini adalah contoh yang successful. Saya bagi. Okay, if it is successful, it is E. coli with recombinant DNA. Warna biru itu adalah untuk menunjukkan ini adalah plasmid yang ada target DNA. But sometimes you will have the failure yang langsung tiada plasmid. And sometimes you get the failure that have plasmid but not recombinant plasmid. Remember that what we want is this. Okay, amplification just means that we let it grow. Okay, kita biarkan dia membiak. Dan seterusnya dengan step nomor 6 adalah screening. So screening is I take this solution. Saya ambil barang dalam solution E. coli ini. I have several Petri dish. In this Petri dish, I put X-gal, which is a sugar that is very similar to lactose. And I also add a type of antibiotic called ampicillin. And there is 3 possible outcomes. First possible outcome is nothing grow. Second possible outcome is it looks blue. Okay, it will form colony. Colony means dia punya bakteria membiak dan dia berkumpul. Bila dia cukup banyak, kamu boleh tengok dengan mata kasar, itu adalah colony. So you can have a blue colony or it's possible that you have white colony on your Petri dish. And then kita akan pilih. Masa memilih, masa menyaring, itu adalah screening. Okay, so tell me, which one do we want? Do we want the empty Petri dish, the blue Petri dish, or the white Petri dish? Kita mau yang mana satu nih? Kita mau yang biru kah, black kah, putih?
Miss the white one.
The white one. Okay. Lim say we need to get the white one. Everybody agree or other people have different answer? Tiada bantahan nih, betul nih? Okay, so the answer is yes, correct. During screening, ataupun dalam case ini kita gelar dia sebagai blue-white screening, kita akan mau pilih yang warna putih. What is actually happening on each of these Petri dish is, yang langsung tidak apa-apa tuh, itu adalah yang ini. So I'm gonna label this one as A, adalah E. coli yang tidak menerima sebarang plasmid. Kalau E. coli itu dapat terima plasmid, tapi plasmid yang dapat adalah kosong, itu adalah E. coli yang saya akan label B, and that will grow into the blue colony. If it is able to transform, receive the plasmid is a recombinant plasmid that contain gene of interest, then that is Petri dish C. Okay, so I hope this part is clear. Does anybody have any questions for this part? So good answer, Lynn. Okay, Alicia, do you understand why we choose the white one now rather than blue? Atau masih ada soalan? Betul tidak ada soalan nih? Semua oke? Okay? Yes, miss. Misunderstanding saja tadi. Okay, alright. Then that's no problem. Okay. If there are no problems, then that's good. Then I can move on with the questions.
Miss,
Yes.
the first
Yes, Lynn?
one, for the A, right? The A.
A here.
Yeah. What do it have any color?
No, it will not have any color because it will be dead.
Oh, because nothing there.
Yes. There is nothing growing on this Petri dish because remember this Petri dish contain antibiotic called ampicillin. How we know here has A is because the E. coli under this category yang kosong ini, it doesn't have any plasmid. The thing that allows the E. coli to live in environment with antibiotic is found in the plasmid. Plasmid itu mengandungi gene yang membolehkannya hidup di dalam persekitaran yang mengandungi antibiotik. So macam make it stronger lah, if you want to put it in very general sense. So if it doesn't have the plasmid, it's gonna die. It's not gonna grow anything.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Miss.
Okay. Any other questions? Part ini kalau kamu susah mau faham atau susah mau ingat, lukislah macam ni. Lukis this way in your mind map that I asked you to draw. Kalau kamu setakat lukis table saja, mungkin kamu kurang dapat gambaran. Some people, they are more visual learner, so maybe you need to draw if just drawing table is not enough for you. Okay, I think this should be cukuplah saya punya explanation ya. Saya teruskan kepada kita punya exercise. Exercise, where is your tutorial exercise? Did I close the window? No, I did not close the window. There we go. Okay. It's taking a little bit of time to load. All right. So this is question number 2. Figure 2 below shows the base sequence in parts of a fluorine DNA, figure A, and then cut the plasmid showing sticky ends, figure B. Define palindrome. Can somebody give the definition for palindrome? Okay lah, sambil kamu mencari itu definisi, okay. Dalam figure A, in here, figure A is the DNA. Figure B is the plasmid. Oh no, I don't want blue. I want yellow color highlight. That is ugly highlight. Okay, dan kedua-duanya akan dipotong menggunakan restriction enzyme yang sama. Okay, so let us try to define palindrome. Can somebody tell me what is palindrome? If you want to type also, no problem. I am looking at chat.
Miss,
Yes?
palindrome is a sequence in which the base pair are read the same on complementary streaks in opposite direction.
Okay, yes, correct Lim and correct Shilo. Okay, Lim baca tadi dan Shilo main type. So that is correct. It is a sequence in which the base pairs are read as in read punya past tense, read the same on complementary strands in opposite direction. Dalam contoh gambar raja yang diberi, kalau dia baca dari kiri ke kanan ataupun kanan ke kiri, dia adalah sama. So in this diagram, for example, we have GAA-TTC, GAA-TTC. Dibaca dengan sama dari kiri ke kanan dan kanan ke kiri. So, good answers. Thank you very much. Itu adalah definisi. Definisi should be simple. Alright, and kalau ada lengkap tuh 2 markah lah. Let's see, where are the marks? The mark is a sequence in which base pairs are read the same on complementary strands. This is 1 mark. In opposite directions, 2nd mark. Okay. And then we are going to the second one. Identify the palindromic base sequence in the DNA donor molecule shown. So ini saya sudah tunjukkan tadi, dia punya palindromic base sequence adalah di sini, GAA-TTC. So I write here, when I want to write it down, I want to write down di atas and di bawah. It should be 5 prime, GAA-TTC 3 prime. Di bawah pun GAA-TTC 3 prime. Dapat tulis begini, ini adalah 1 markah. What is the function of the plasmid shown? Can anyone answer this next question? 2C. Function of a plasmid.
Cloning vector.
Yes, correct, Mas Mira. That is correct. It acts as a cloning vector. Very good, correct. Acts as a cloning vector. Boleh dapat markah juga. Tapi kalau kamu macam mau temberang sedikit, okay, maybe you want to show off that you know a lot, then you can say, kamu boleh tambah di hujung to carry the gene of interest ataupun target gene into host cell for replication. Okay, kalau mau temberang, boleh tulis panjang. Tapi kalau mau secara ringkas sahaja, kamu paling penting perlu cakap cloning vector. Alright, Bessie answered in the chat. Function of plasmid shown is to receive recombinant DNA that use as cloning vector. Yes, boleh terima jawapan kamu, Bessie. Good. Okay, yang penting ada mention cloning vector. Alright, so that is it for question 2C. Now we move on to question D1. A restriction enzyme will cut the DNA molecule and plasmid to produce restriction fragment. Draw all the restriction fragments produced. Okay, jadi dia suruh kamu lukis hasil dia lah. So you have to draw several fragments. Okay, so you should have the cut DNA molecule, DNA donor molecule, and another one is your cut DNA plasmid. Bukan cutted ya, bukan cutted tetapi cut. Okay, so we are going to look at our diagram once again. So over here, your donor DNA, actually bukan satu sahaja, restriction site dia, ada dua. So you need to cut at both restriction sites. Ini adalah GAA-TTC, dia adalah palindrome ataupun restriction site untuk enzim yang kamu diminta untuk hafal, iaitu enzim EcoR1. GAA-TTC confirm EcoR1 punya, jadi kita potong di sini. Ini pun kita potong di sini. So dia akan produce dua sticky end. So when we draw, how will it look? It's okay if your drawing is ugly, but it's better if it looks nice. Lukis begitu. Okay, so it should be GAA-TTC. G DNA molecule looks like this. Okay, di tengah-tengah tu kosong, tidak apa. And then you need to draw your cut DNA plasmid. Sini dia tidak tunjukkan itu sequence. Okay, it doesn't show you the sequence, but you know that it will be the same restriction site as your DNA. Okay, dia memang akan ada dia punya GAA-TTC juga. Okay, so for your plasmid, I'm going to use what will I use? I will use dark chocolate. Okay, I use chocolate color. Okay, dia akan nampak macam ini. It will be GAA-TTC. GAA-TTC. Okay. No, that's ugly. Never mind. I don't want to color. So, kamu boleh nampak dua cara saya lukis. Untuk DNA molecule tu, pastikan dia satu fragment yang sendiri-sendiri saja. For the plasmid, tengah-tengah yang kosong, di hujung ni jangan kamu kasih tutup dia ya. So don't close here. Don't do this. Don't do this. Biarkan dia terbuka macam ni. Biarkan terbuka macam ni, biarkan terbuka macam ini. Because there is more DNA outside of your drawing. Ini kita tunjukkan dia punya hujung saja. Actually, the plasmid masih bersambung di bahagian lain macam ini. But because if I draw like this, it's a little bit ugly. So I draw only the hujung yang kena potong. Any questions with this one?
Miss,
Yes.
do we must label the like label DNA donor molecule and DNA plasmid? Do we need to write that? Yeah.
Yes.
Another question is, if I combine both of them to take together, can it be accepted?
That's the next step. That's the
Oh,
next
that's the next step.
question.
Oh,
Yeah. Ini dia
okay.
suruh potong saja dulu. Ini baru kita kasih jam.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Miss.
So let's continue with that one terus lah. Kita terus lukis yang itu. Draw the recombinant DNA as a result of inserting blah 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 blah. What did I use just now? I use purple kan? Oh yes, I use purple. Okay, so saya lukis saya punya DNA A T T C G here. Oh yes, betul-betul. G. Nah, ini terpulang kepada kamu lah. Kamu menggunakan warna berbeza kah? Warna yang sama? Terpulang kepada kamu. Okay, lukis dia sudah masukkan. So this one is your DNA fragment. And these are part of your plasmid. Kalau kamu tidak melukis macam ni, kalau kamu melukis dia punya bulatan terus, I don't know, maybe you like to draw it this way, no problem. But if you draw it this way, tunjukkan juga itu base di sini. Okay? If you draw like this, please write the base. Any problem with this one? Of course, I didn't forget question D2. Question D2, name the restriction enzyme used to cut both the foreign DNA molecule and plasmid. Ini saya sudah cakap tadi. Ini adalah EcoR1. Sebab ini enzyme yang kamu kena minta untuk hafal. Okay, so I'm moving on to the next question.
Sorry, Miss.
Yes, Lee.
For the for D3, right? The drawing of recombinant DNA. Yeah, that one. The one you circle, the circle one. If I just draw that, can it be accepted, or I must write the base sequence?
Write the base.
Huh? Oh, so we must
Write
write
the
the base
base.
sequence.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Miss.
All right. For the next one, what is the next stage after formation of recombinant DNA? Very quickly, anybody, give me the answer. D4.
Miss, it is transformation.
Yes, correct. So the next stage after this is transformation. Yang kita tunjukkan, yang kamu jawab satu-satu soalan ini adalah insertion. So ikut Ichitas, ini adalah Ichi, lepas tu T. Dan diikuti dengan A dan S. Alright, so for question D4, state one characteristic of DNA vector. Dia punya jawapan sama sahaja dengan yang ini. Okay. It is the same answers as the one in question 1D. Jawapan yang sama digunakan untuk di sini. Sebab kita cuma perlu nyatakan ciri-ciri vektor yang membolehkannya, yang menyebabkannya sesuai untuk recombinant DNA technology. So that's basically what it is. So I just read it out. The characteristics of DNA vector that you can use as answer for this one is able to accept foreign DNA in multiple cloning site, able to replicate freely in the host cell, and also it possess selectable genetic marker. Mesti ada yang genetic marker itu, kalau tidak kita tidak tahu dia wujud ataupun tidak. Okay, any more questions regarding this part?
No.
Okay, no, very good. Then I will finish this part. And stop presenting this. Go back to using whiteboard. Okay, so just to refresh, just now we talked about 8.1. We refresh what is the 5 tools of recombinant DNA technology. And then after that, we went into 8.2. I refreshed. I explained a little bit about the screening. I explained a few steps, but I focus more on the screening. And then we discussed questions 1 and 2 in the tutorial. Next week, we will go into 8.3. So I'm going to upload the video later. Siapa mau tengok video awal sikit, boleh tengok. Hari Isnin minggu depan, sila tengok video. Google Form untuk 8.2 dan 8.3 saya akan share nanti, tolong jawab. Dan siapkan soalan tutorial chapter 8. Next week, I will discuss the rest of the tutorial questions. Kah kamu mau saya bagi answer scheme, nanti kamu tanya soalan dalam Telegram. Which one do you prefer? You prefer to do another Google Meet? Or you prefer Telegram sahaja? Oh no, I cannot spell next. Okay, pandai menghijau juga. Okay. Oh, no. No preference? Kamu tidak kisah mana satu? Oh, sorry, stuck. Alright. Next week, saya minta kamu siapkan 8.3, siapkan soalan tutorial chapter 8, dan kita patut bincang jawapan tutorial yang selebihnya. Kamu mau saya buat Google Meet lagi macam hari ini untuk bincang soalan tutorial yang selebihnya, ataupun kamu mau saya bagi jawapan? Tinggal nanti kamu, kalau ada mau dibincang, kita bincang dalam Telegram. Which one do you prefer?
Miss, bagi jawapan lah sebab kalau GM stuck.
Oh, okay. Alright, then that's fine. We're gonna give answer and then discuss in Telegram lah. Telegram kalau tidak laju pun tidak apa-apa, nanti kamu boleh baca balik. Okay, then it's settled. Then next week we don't need to do Google Meet. We do the Telegram. Okay. Apa lagi saya mau umum tuh? Okay. I haven't checked if everybody has submitted their assignments. Macam ada yang saya bagi extend sampai minggu ni kan, jadi yang kena bagi extension tu mohon kamu submit sebelum esok. Let me double check macam ramai sudah submit. Regarding assignment final. Still loading. Assignment. Assignment K05. 4 more people to submit. K06. 2 more people to submit. And K04 semua sudah submit final version of your assignment. So that's very good. I don't know if I am allowed to give you your marks for assignment. Macam saya tidak sepatutnya tunjuk bagi kamu. But it's okay. Near the end of the semester, you will know all your PB marks anyway. Okay, regarding next week, sepatutnya next week ada cuti Deepavali. Any of you here are Hindu kah? Tiada yang Hindu kali kan, tapi we still get the cuti Deepavali, you know. So your 3 hingga 5 hari bulan 11 adalah cuti Deepavali. Dan disebabkan itu, kamu mungkin perasan ada beberapa orang pensyarah kamu pun akan cuti daripada 1 hingga 2 hari bulan. Termasuk saya. Yeah. So mungkin ada beberapa kelas yang tiada lah. Okay, so most likely you will have some free time here in college. Bagi yang sudah sampai college, saya harap kamu bertahan. Tahulah college kita ni tidak seberapa. But maybe it is better for some of you to be here. Sebab mungkin ada yang di rumah, dia dipanggil untuk masak sekejap-sekejap. Ataupun jaga datuk dia. Ataupun line sangat-sangat teruk di rumah. Sini kalau line teruk pun at least tidaklah jahanam mana. So yeah, so I hope you are going to do okay while you're here. Kalau ada sebarang masalah, kamu boleh cari number fellow kamu sebab mereka bertugas untuk membantu kamu sekiranya ada masalah. Tapi janganlah layan fellow kamu macam kulit, mereka tetap pensyarah, tolong berurusan dengan hormat. Okay, please don't ask me to bring stuff to you next week. I'm gonna be gone next week. I will teach you online. I will not be here with my car or with my person. Tapi hari Kamis itu saya tetap mau buat lesson. I mean, I give you the material and then you can decide if you want to do on Thursday or before Thursday. Up to you. But on Thursday, what I want is that I want you to complete. I will upload the video for 9.1. 9.1 plan reproduction. Kita masuk chapter baru. I want you to watch that video. And then I want to do something different for 9.1. So lepas kamu tengok video 9.1 tu, saya akan minta kamu jawab satu quiz. Mini quiz 1. Okay, so this mini quiz 1 is to see how much you understand from the video after just watching video. After you do mini quiz 1, I want you to follow this guided drawing video. Dan ikut melukis. Selepas guided drawing video, saya minta kamu gunakan flashcard. sebab saya sedang cuba teknik baru. I'm trying something new. I hope that it can help you study better and understand better. So, next week bila saya sudah upload bahan-bahan ni, tolong ikut urutan dia lah. Baru saya boleh nampak, okay, after which stage yang kamu mudah faham. Okay, but that is for next week. Oh yeah, one more thing I need to tell you. Oh shit, yeah. There's this thing called UPS3. PS3. Alah, mau cuti. Kalau mau cuti, kamu kasih siap tu video 9.1 awal sikit lah. But no GM lah next week. Kita buat itu Telegram punya discussion saja. What else did I need to tell you? Experiment. Oh, right. Eksperimen yang tinggal hanyalah eksperimen untuk mikroskop. So, bagi yang berada di Kemel, kamu masih belum dapat masuk lab sebab kita tunggu pengurusan bagi kebenaran untuk kamu face to face dulu. Sekarang ada beberapa pelajar yang positif, bukan salah mereka juga lah sebab itu yang masuk sini, dia swab hari keempat ke hari kelima tu baru dia dapat tidak positif. So, yeah, for now, a lot of you are still under quarantine. Unfortunately, gelang mahal. What to do? Kalau sudah boleh masuk lab, saya akan minta kebenaran untuk bawa kamu pergi lab. Kamu boleh tengok sendiri slide-slide mikroskop tu. Belajar sendiri, sentuh mikroskop, guna mikroskop, angkat mikroskop, jangan jilat mikroskop. And if you're still not allowed, tunggu SEM depan. I'm supposed to tell you that you are to use the virtual microscope that I give you beginning of the semester. So kalau kamu mau buat eksperimen sendiri, line kamu cukup kuat, laptop kamu boleh tampung, kamu boleh gunakan link untuk virtual microscope yang ada dalam GC, dan kamu boleh lihat, meneliti, membanding bezakan antara pelbagai slide untuk plan isu. If you don't have the gadget, if you don't have the internet, oh no, apa boleh buat? Tidak jadilah kamu buat the virtual microscope. So itu terpulang sama kamu. Itu sekian eksperimen untuk minggu ini. Sebab eksperimen untuk yang ada guna tangan punya sudah kamu habiskan. Oh yeah, I want to talk about UPS3. Okay, UPS3 is chapter 7 and 8. Saya tidak ingat berapa soalan. Pra UPS is next week. Pra UPS3 next week. Untuk pra UPS, kami putuskan kamu boleh jawab bila-bila masa sepanjang minggu. So next week, all week, I just give you the link anytime you want to try to answer, you answer. But for UPS3, it will be, berapa hari bulan ni? That is 10. That is 11 hari bulan. This one 11 hari bulan 11, petang 4:30 hingga 5:30. Masa yang Miss yang UPS betul Miss. Miss indah mau bagi tahu markah. Nanti sepatutnya result masuk dalam email. Kalau tidak silap. UPS 1, you should get your result in your Gmail kan? Yeah, so it should be in your email. Nanti sekarang UPS 2 ni sebab ada beberapa orang pelajar yang tidak dapat dihubungi. Macam hari itu Christina dia dapat dihubungi sudah. So hari ini dia sudah jawab. Kita tunggu pelajar bio lain Yang belum menjawab, bila diorang siap jawab, baru kami boleh release score. Kalau tidak, nanti ada yang kena kena cakap peniru. So we don't want to do that lah. Okay. Saja mau tahu, paling rendah adalah 12 markah. Paling tinggi 17 markah. I hope you'll be very good again at EPS3. Okay, so I'm gonna stop presenting this. Okay, itu sajalah macam begitu saja saya punya pengumuman untuk hari ini. Kamu ada soalan lain? Yes, Lim. Yang guided writing, guided drawing, Marni. Marni yang guided drawing itu untuk next week. Saya akan bagi video, kamu sambil tengok video itu, sambil kamu lukis. In the video, I'm going to tell you how to draw. I hope that by drawing and following me, you are able to understand. Yes, Lim, ada soalan tadi?
Miss, just now you say we have experiment, right? That need to do online, right?
Yes.
But the experiment by hand one already finished, right?
Yes.
If we
You're
got
going
do
to ask
because
me, do I really have to do it?
yeah. No, because wait. So Miss, how many experiment we left now?
We should have 6 experiments. So experiment 1 is learning about the microscope, which one is the observation lens, which one is the objective lens. I didn't ask you to do lab report then, no need. Itu pun virtual microscope. Experiment 2 is plant tissue, sepatutnya minggu ini. Also using the virtual microscope. Up to you if you want to do or not. Experiment 3 is the potato. Sudah siap, sudah hantar, sudah bagi video dan akan ditanda. Experiment 4 is experiment 4 macam virtual microscope juga. It should be virtual microscope with animal tissue. And then experiment 5 is inheritance. You already did the inheritance punya tu yang kita isi Google Sheets. And then kamu tulis kamu punya lab report yang ringkas. Experiment 6 is the isolating DNA yang saya minta kamu beli alkohol dan campur sendiri. Itu saja 6 eksperimen.
So Miss, how if other students do not do experiment, sits at home, then they come here but cannot do, then how? Because
Do they want to do?
Yeah, they want to do, but they don't do it at home. Then after they come here, they remember that, oh, still have experiment 6, but now they cannot do it.
Well, first question, are they in your class?
No, but no.
Are they my
in this group,
students?
yeah, the student.
Okay, then in that case, for that student, please message me personally. Mungkin dia tidak mau cakap di sini kan? Please message me personally. Tell me when you want to do. I can help you get the things, but yalah, duit dari kamu lah. You give me money, I buy the thing. You can do it in your room. You can cak to the group.
Dennis.
Is it you? Yep.
Maybe. I guess lah, maybe lah.
Okay lah.
What maybe?
Yeah, yeah, okay, message me personally later. Kalau yang lain ada yang sampai ke email sudah dan mau buat eksperimen tu, sila sediakan duit, kontak saya tolong beli.
Miss, experiment 6 just
But
need
remember, I'm traveling back. I'm traveling back this Saturday. Ah, don't you ask me to deliver you stuff Saturday ataupun Sunday. I'm gonna be busy thinking about my home.
Miss, experiment 6 just need a picture of the result, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Miss,
Yes, Audrey.
Miss balik tenong kah?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Tenom Monsoy. Kenapa? Audrey, mau datang Kemel, ikut kereta Miss.
Bawa saya balik, Miss. Kasih singgah.
Actually saya tidak bawa kereta balik.
Miss, beli kopi Fatchoy, Miss.
Beli kopi Fatchoy. Mau apa punya? 3 in 1 kah? Kopi saja kah?
3 in 1.
3 in 1.
Banyak-banyak, Miss.
Berapa orang mau kopi Fatchoy sini?
Saya dengan si Audrey. Dengan si Nick.
Saya, Miss. Iya.
Jadi 3 pack.
Miss, adakah Fatchoy atau Info lagi bagus?
Iya, Miss.
Antara dua tuh.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Tenom produces its own coffee, and there are 3 major companies that do the good coffee, which is Fatchoy, satu lagi Yitfo, satu lagi Tongfa. Don't ask me to do the I read the text, okay? My Chinese very bad. I have Chinese blood, but I am bad at using it. So I don't know how to pronounce it in Hakka or Hokkien. But yeah, bagi saya, kalau itu 3 in 1, Fatchoy punya sedap. Tapi Yitfo punya kopi O punya sachet itu is good. Kalau cakap serbuk, macam Yitfo punya yang gambar kapal terbang tuh, ataupun gambar bunga raya tuh paling sedap. My opinion.
Miss,
Nanti apa saya rajin angkut saya bawa.
mau Info yang white apa? White coffee.
White coffee.
Ya, saya dengan Audrey.
Okay. Yang orang punya bersuara tuh adalah Audrey. Saya tuh siapa?
Saya Nizam. Kami dua share device.
Oh, Nizam. Oh, Nizam
Yes.
share dengan Audrey. Okay.
Ya.
Macam mana kami bagi
Alright.
sama Miss?
Barang sampai baru urus.
Okay, Miss.
Shopee
Thank you,
guarantee.
Miss.
Okay, any more questions relating to coffee or recombinant DNA technology ataupun kamu punya jadual bio atau UPS?
Miss,
Yes.
lepas kuarantin 14 hari boleh keluar kah?
Keluar outing?
Bukan, pergi Padana sama out of block lah.
Out of block.
Like,
Should be okay, tapi you have to wait for instructions from pengurusan lah. Wait for the people who are managing you. If you are dealing with Mami, Puan Zahira, dengan Encik Masa, okay, if you are ever talking to them, buatlah suara kesian sikit. Cakaplah, tolonglah lain tidak bagus. Kami mau beriadah, lepaskan stres. Buat suara dan muka kesian sedikit. Mana tahu dia orang cakap, okay, pelajar dibenarkan untuk beriadah. And then you're allowed to go to the padang or walk around. Okay? In life, have personal skill, minta kesian di tempat yang berpatutan. So the conclusion for your question is kipas-kipas them a little bit.
Okay, I got it, Miss.
Okay, any more questions? Saya stop recording lah. Macam panjang pula ni recording.